Hey, on the left side we have a very dense mesh of a sculpted hand. On the right side we have a retopology, which is way simpler to unwrap or give a rig to it. That's why we will make the hand retopology within 3 steps. By the way, we will not use any add-ons. The finger, like you see here, will be the first step. In the second step, we are going to copy the first finger and cover all other fingers and cover the knuckles. By the end of this video, this should be the final result with 12 vertex around the wrist. We are going to start with the sculpted hand that looks like this. If you want, you can download the file with the sculpted hand and work along with me. At first, I would like to check the settings to make sure that the retopology mesh that we will make will stick on top of the sculpted mesh. Please go and make the same settings as you see here on the screen. We will add a circle and place it around the finger. So we need to move a cursor to the right position. I think I will put the circle around the index finger. To move the cursor, there are several ways. We will do it like this. Go and select the vertex, likely around I do it here. This is a very good spot for our cursor. Let's press Shift S and then number 2. Now we can leave the edit mode and add our circle and start to place it being around the finger. Let's enter in the menu of the circle the right number of the vertex and the right radius. The circle needs to be placed on that finger like a ring. And as you see now, it sticks to the surface of the finger. This happens because of the settings of our top menu. Just deselect them for now and then go and adjust this circle to the right position by rotating and moving it around. I'm going to speed up this part a little bit, and you should go ahead and make sure that the ring fits nicely around the finger. I need to scale it a little bit bigger. Don't forget to apply the scale of the ring at this point. And additionally to our top settings that we made, we need to apply a shrink wrap modifier on that ring. This will allow us to keep pretty well the shape of our hand. We will need to select the object the ring will be wrapped around, and this is our sculpted hand. If you like, you can play with other options just to see what the result would deliver to get the feeling for this shrink wrap modifier. Depending on the settings you select, sometimes it can make mess like we have here, and actually it is important to give an offset to your mesh. Let's make it around 1 millimeter. Let's switch to another setting. Let's select nearest surface point. And so you see the ring fits perfectly. With our ring selected, let's go into the edit mode by pressing tab, and let's hit this magnet icon to bring back our settings that let the ring mesh be perfectly on top of the sculpted surface. The ring is now at the right spot and we have all the settings activated. We press a shortcut E on our keyboard and starting to extrude our mesh. At this point, don't be shy, go and extrude few more times. To have a better view of the mesh, I suggest you go ahead and hit this icon. And in this way, like we just did, we are going to extrude till we reach the tip of the finger. Here we have a very nice loop that we can close by pressing shortcut F on our keyboard. I'm going to adjust the vertices a little bit and I will speed up this process. And now by pressing K on our keyboard, I'm going to select my knife tool. I am just splitting this big angle into 3 quads, and I confirm this by pressing enter on my keyboard. I would like to make a few adjustments just to move vertices here and there to make a better mesh. I'm holding down Alt key and click on the edge right next to the selected vertex. So the whole loop around the finger will be selected for the extrusion. And now let us make the extrusion few more times till we almost reach the knuckle area. I will speed up the process of adjusting the vertices. And if the geometry starts to behave nasty, try different things like moving the vertices around or maybe even shut off the magnet button in our top menu. I think it looks quite good, but I would like to make one more extrusion. Once more, select the loop and let's drag it to the knuckle. Before we start to copy the retopology mesh, make the adjustments you need to get smoother geometry. Then we are going to switch off the shrink wrap modifier. Let's have a look at this, how tight the topology wraps around the sculpted mesh beneath it. To select the whole geometry at once, you hover over the mouse and press the L button. Then we're going to deselect our magnet icon. Now you need to press Shift plus D and duplicate this mesh and try to adjust this mesh that way that it covers the middle finger. I'm going to speed up the process. I use here different tools: scale, grab and rotate. I will make the shrink wrap modifier visible again and place the geometry a little bit better and try to avoid the sticking to the surfaces of the other fingers. We are almost done with the mesh of the middle finger. There are only a few tweaks needed to bring the vertices into the right position. Also, I will bring the loop near to the knuckle. I will not do some complicated stuff, but only move the vertices here and there a little bit. And I think it makes sense now to speed up the process once more. While we are running the speed up, I'd like to say a few words about learning the retopology. And I haven't seen a proper tutorial showing everything step by step, and even the paid material was too fast and not detailed enough for me. It was a little annoying to figure out some important things by myself, even though I paid for it. I would like to save you the same trouble I went through. Just try to place the geometry like I do here in this video, and you will have a solid result by the end of this tutorial. We switch off the shrink wrap modifier and we will change to the sculpting mode. I think I will at first turn off the sculpted mesh beneath the retopologized mesh. I don't need it for now, and I think I will grab the smooth brush and try to make smoother the mesh. Oops, it looked not so well. I press Ctrl Z and I'm going to switch the mode of the smooth brush. Just right here, select the surface. Here in the upper part you can adjust the intensity of strokes of your brush. Swipe with your brush along the edges and try to spot places where the mesh would need a bit of improvement. When you think you are ready, you can go back to the layout and make visible the sculpted mesh, and also switch on the visibility of the shrink wrap modifier. Congratulations, you have just accomplished your 2 fingers of 5, and I suggest you make the same process again for the other 3 fingers. Check your modifier settings, and the settings of the top menu there should be off because we are going to make a copy one more time. Drag the mesh to the ring finger and try to adjust it this way that it covers every part of the sculpted finger. At this point you should use grab, scale and rotate operations to bring this piece of a mesh into the right position. Let us switch back the magnet in the top menu and grab and move a tiny bit the mesh, and you see how the mesh sticks to the surface of the underlying sculpted mesh. Hit the left mouse button to stop the grab operation and switch on the shrink wrap modifier. Let's make the copy number 4, therefore we will need to switch off our 2 menus, this magnet and the shrink wrap modifier. Press Shift D and drag the mesh to the pinky. For bringing into the right position of the mesh of the pinky, I will give to the video a little speed up till the next important point. I will switch on the magnet menu to grab and move the retopology a little to make it stick tight to the sculpted mesh. I'm going to switch off this magnet menu because the mesh fits pretty well as it seems, but we have here on the tip of the finger a little problem which we are going to fix. At first I will try to move the vertex a little bit around to show maybe I can fix this problem just by moving them around, and I think it seems not like it's possible for me to do it this way, and maybe I should go to the sculpting mode and try to fix it there. Sometimes it can be very useful to keep the magnet menu on, but also it can cause such troubles like we have right here. I think that the better and easier solution for now is to fix the problem in the sculpting mode. And here we are in the sculpt mode. We can use different brushes to improve the mesh or get rid of issues like I have right here. Look at this, it calls relax brush. Let us pick it up first and try to fix the mesh using relax brush. If it doesn't seem to work, you can switch to the smooth brush and it works in most cases really well. When you got this meshed area to something like a quad structure is appearing, you could switch once more to the relax brush and fix the rest. Don't rush and try not to get mad if something goes not very smooth. It takes that much time as it needs to take. If you think you are done, you can switch back to the layout menu, go into the edit mode and check on the just fixed area. After this you could make the final adjustments on the vertices. And here we go. Here's a time for a little speed up. And I don't like the rotation of my mesh right here. I think I will need to rotate it a bit. I select this piece and press R for rotate. And the next piece also. I think I will rotate only the loop, and the next one, both loops will rotate also a bit. Right now I'm just trying to get rid of the tilt that I have here along the retopology of the pinky finger. So the pinky seems to look well for now. Let's have a look on the ring finger. If I scroll really close to the tip of the ring finger, part of the geometry starts to disappear, this effect called clipping. To change it, we need to go into settings and reduce the distance of the clipping. And now we can scroll really closely and nothing disappears. Really cool. And once more, I'm just adjusting the position of the vertices in that way like I'd like them to be. I'll give to the next part of the video a little speed up. I don't want to bore you showing you each step, how I'm moving each vertex, but still you can see that I'm just trying to shape the geometry a bit more better, that it looks like a real finger. Congratulations, only one finger is still to make. Let's bring back the sculpted hand. Let's go into the edit mode by pressing tab and select the index finger by pressing L, and let's copy it and drag to the thumb. Now the same procedure like we did it already 4 times. It could be that the thumb is going to be more tricky. Just stick with me and we will rock also this one. These transform operations could appear pretty meditating. That's why I make the next part of the video a little faster for a few seconds, just to make sure you are not falling into a slip. The shape of the sculpted thumb has a little different structure as our retopo mesh. We will probably need to delete piece of the retopologized geometry and make a few new extrusions. Either way, let us at first try to bring the mesh into the position similar to the one of the thumb. I think we will get through way more faster if I delete this piece of a geometry than if I would try to adjust each vertex. Let's select the rest part of the thumb retopo and use this cool magnet trick. We will switch the magnet on and use the grab operation. Just move the selected mesh by a tiny bit and it sticks automatically to the surface of the sculpted mesh. Select the loop and extrude it a few times till you're almost at the tip of the finger, and then use the fill function by pressing F on the keyboard. I would like to switch off the X-ray mode and move the N-gon to the very tip of the thumb, and also shut off the visibility of the sculpted hand. Adjust the vertices, maybe better to switch off the magnet icon in the top menu and adjust vertices then. Let us use knife tool by hitting K on our keyboard. Doing this, we can divide this big N-gon into 4 quads like we already did on other fingers. And here comes a little adjustment speed up. I'm only moving the vertices of the tip a little bit around to give the retopo a better look. Once more, I am about to use this trick with switched on magnet icon and moving the retopo mesh to make it sticking on top of the sculpted mesh. And I move, oops, I think this kind of things happens because our sculpted mesh needs to be on. I switch the visibility of the sculpted mesh on and grab and move a bit the retopologized mesh, and it fits perfectly. Look at this. The next short part of the video I will make a little faster because I'm going to make a little cleanup. I will move the vertices to distribute them evenly and maybe delete a little bit of the loose geometry. Here we have a loose geometry and loose vertices, for example, which I accidentally produced. I think it happened as I was making an extrude operation, so I select them now and delete. After After deleting the extra vertices, I'm selecting the whole retopo mesh by pressing a hotkey A on a keyboard and press M for merge. That allows me to remove vertices sitting on top of each other. Go ahead and make the adjustments to your retopo mesh if it's needed before we start to connect the fingers. Let's begin with the index and the middle finger. We are going to connect the vertices which are corresponding to those two edges. Select these 4 vertices and press a shortcut F on your keyboard. And here comes a little adjustment speed up. Bring the vertices in the right position so we can go on. Select the next 4 vertices on our retopo mesh and connect them by pressing a shortcut F on our keyboard. That went pretty well. To make the proper connection between the next 2 fingers, we need to move the vertices on the bottom of the retopology of the ring finger. And try to make sure you have here more or less nice legit topology. Okay, maybe at this level the topology looks not very nice, but we need to pay attention that we catch the vertices of the strip. The connection should go that way that the strip of the other finger is attached to it. Select these 4 vertices and press shortcut F on your keyboard, and then you can directly select the next 4 vertices and also press one more time shortcut F. Now we can make next connection between the pinky and the ring finger. At first we need to move the vertices around to make sure we connect the right strip. Also, I would like to rotate the bottom loop of the pinky finger to get the connecting edge on the right position. I'll make the next part of the video a little faster till I think the adjustments of the vertices are acceptable. And the cool thing about it, if we do it the right way, you will have a nice retopo of the hand by the end of this video. Also, if you do not understand some steps I'm doing here in this video, do not hesitate and ask me your question in the comment section. Now we are at the point where we could try to connect the bottom loops. It seems that the connected geometry starts to flip here. I delete it. In this case, I will need to make a further adjustments to avoid such issues in the future. I'm actually not sure what happens here right now. I will try to check the face orientation by switching it on in this menu. And as I see here, none of the surfaces or faces is shown in the red color. It means to me that everything is actually alright. Maybe I should respect here the resistance of Blender and move the vertices around till they fit well. I am checking the option for the face orientation once more. Probably there are just a few adjustments needed and we could try to connect the edges one more time. The structure of the mesh is a little bit out of order and as soon as I fix this it will be okay. I tried the connection one more time and it seems to be okay, so we could go on with the rest of the retopo. That looks cool and we could bring up the upper part of the connection a little bit more to the knuckles. It is not a big deal if the retopo mesh looks a bit smashed. We can switch on the magnet icon in the top menu and move the mesh a tiny bit to make it fit well. For the next few seconds I would like to focus on the thumb and give it a few loops. Also I will switch on the magnet icon in the top menu, just adding a few loops to make the geometry more even. In the next step I think we could start to extrude the loop that we have around the 4 fingers. But before we do this, I think if I see the bottom part of the loop, it looks awful, so we need to fix also this one. Just bring the connecting areas next to the knuckles. After you have a relatively proper loop there around the 4 fingers, you could go and start the extrusion. Try to keep the geometry clean, but still without overdoing it. The geometry shouldn't look too messy, and that's actually it. Now we will target the retopo structure around the knuckles. It's not like do it only this way and it's only the way it works. Absolutely not. I think I will make here a little cleanup and I will do it a little bit faster. Just stay here with me and we are almost done here with the setup retopo. The rest part will be pretty simple. The upper part looks well and I think I will also move vertices on the bottom part of the loop to give it more structure. I want to move the vertices more to the knuckle area. I see here I accidentally splitted here a vertex into 2, so I need to reconnect them. For connecting the vertices, you may press M for merge. After you selected the vertices you want to have connected, you need to select one of the options, for example merge at center. The next few moments I would like to move the vertices further to the direction of the palm. I want to have my mesh looking not messy, so I try to make adjustments that are probably could be needed to have better looking geometry. In this way you see much more, and you can better predict how you would connect the loops. For example, we will need to connect the loop of the thumb with the loop of other four fingers. Try to get the mesh that looks like you see here. If it's better, great. So you might have less problems with the connection. I will switch off the magnet menu for now to make the mesh smoother in the sculpting mode. It could be probably cool to switch on the X-ray view and switch off the visibility of sculpted mesh, so we have focused our retopo for the smooth operation. I see here the wrong brush, so I need another one. I need here a smooth brush, and maybe it was not the smartest to select the X-ray view. I make here a few strokes with the smooth brush and see if the changes are getting visible. It could be smarter to change the preferences of the viewport display to get the visibility of the wireframe back. I will switch off the X-ray view. Now we are able to see the faces. This way I can better see the solid parts of the geometry. And now you can see the impact of the smooth brush more better. Go with the brush along the mesh and give it a bit of smoothness on spots where it is needed, and be sure that you have the option Surface instead of Laplacian switched on. If your brush causes such a harsh changes, it could have different reasons. For example, you could check the strength of the brush. Let us try it first. You could also try another brush to see how it behaves. And also here you could try to adjust the strength of the brush. We go for more smoothness of the mesh and apply the brush on different spots, but sometimes the solution is way more simple as it seems. Let's try to switch off the visibility of the shrink wrap modifier. Let us have a look how the brush works after we switched off the modifier. And now it seems that we can adjust the mesh without jumping vertices. You can have some practice using the brushes to fix your mesh on places where it is required. An important thing is what I suggest you make a backup of the retopo mesh by making just a copy of the object. If you do so, you will probably have no pressure that you could destroy something. And the good thing about it, you can anytime go to your backup retopo and try it once more. For the next few seconds I will run the speed up process of fixing my retopology mesh. Skip it if you like. I am done with sculpting for now. Let us bring back the sculpted mesh, switch on the magnet menu, and make visible the shrink wrap modifier that we have on our retopology mesh. Switch into the edit mode by pressing tab. Now we are going to connect the thumb with other four fingers. Let us check the settings once more to make sure that our upcoming retopo process can be started. Being in the edit mode, I have the edge option activated, so I can select these edges and connect them by pressing F on my keyboard. In the next step, I would like to extrude the loop around the four fingers. I'm holding down the Alt button and click on the edge so I have the whole loop selected. And now we extrude this loop. After the loop has been extruded, I will check on the vertices laying on the surface of the palm to bring them into the right position. I think I will change the edge flow a little bit to have it more clear what needs to be connected. Now it looks better what we actually have here. I select those four vertices and connect them by pressing hotkey F. Great, our connection sits perfectly. In the next step I would like to add a circle consisting of 12 vertices and put it around the wrist. Then we will have all parts which are needed to build the whole hand retopology. I'll bring the cursor to the retopology by pressing Shift S and then 2 on my keyboard. After we have done it, we press Shift A and add the circle. Here you can enter the number of vertices you need around the wrist. In our case, we will go with 12 vertices. Also, we will need a radius. Here you should enter a value around 3 or 4 centimeters to roughly match the size of a female wrist. Let's go here with 0.035 meter. Here we have it, and I'll need to move it a little bit around. You can use here just basic operations like rotate, grab and scale to bring the circle into the right position. I'm trying here to match the center of the circle with the center of the wrist. I think I will switch off the magnet menu just for now. I move the circle a little bit, center it, and I'd like to scale it a little bit down. I like the position of the circle almost. I move it a bit, and I think I will join now the retopo and the circle. The circle is selected, then press Shift and select the retopo, and then you press Command and J to join both objects into one. And as you see, the circle also received the shrink wrap modifier. From here on, we will need to connect the rest. The upcoming part consists of selecting the vertices and connecting them, sometimes extruding an edge or a few of them. You will see what I'm doing here. I'll just play the video from now on. It will be the simplest part of it. Pay attention to your settings of the shrink wrap modifier or whether the settings of the magnet icon needs to be changed maybe. Congratulations, now you have the whole retopology of the hand. You could go in the sculpt mode and smooth the geometry a little. If it was helpful, let me know in the comment below this video. If you didn't like this video, I'm also happy about your feedback why you didn't.